Hi guys, welcome to Java A to Z Professional Training Point. So let's start the learning Java. First of all, we have to understand the requirements. As we know, C language was the extremely popular language among the programmers. C was too good as low level assembly language and high level language into a programming world. And that fits into computer architecture, so programmers mostly like this language and they were happy to work with it. So this language have also cons part, like if programs grew longer, C programs became more unwieldy because there was no way to cut up a long C program into self-contained compartments. So if there was number of line of code, so it was difficult to maintain that, and programmers have keep all the things in the mind. If there was any error in the program, so rest of the line will not execute because it throw the error, not throw the error, but rest of the line of code will not execute because exception was not handled, error was not handled. So this was the issue. Now requirements was come into the mind, like how to handle these line of codes. So the requirement was occurred a program should break into semi-autonomous unit. So object-oriented programming methodology came into the picture. Object-oriented programming, this approach was introduced and it was added to C language. So now we have another language and it became as C++ language. Now C++ programmers are dealing with longer programs and object-oriented code. They were happy with the class and objects design, and they were happy with the object-oriented methodology because it was easy to maintain the huge line of code, maintain the exception. But there was also an issue, like both language, C language and C++ language, after compilation they have object code, and that code was not platform independent. That object code is for a specific operating system because each operating system have its own environment and each operating system have different environment. So suppose a C language program compiled and that execute is compatible with the specific operating system, and it will not execute that object code, that exe file will not execute on another operating system because compiler compiled that source code into the machine specific pattern. In the other context, C++ language, and if a code is written in C++ language, so compiler also compiled that source code into the object code, and that object code is compatible with the specific operating system only. If that object code move to another operating system, then it will not execute because object code have some specific libraries which can execute, and those libraries are compatible with the specific operating system only. So for example, if I would like to move C language compiled code on another operating system, so I cannot, because that compiled code have operating system specific object code, and that have operating system specific libraries also. So there is one thing clearly in my mind, that each operating system have different libraries to execute your object code. Each operating system have different environments, so they have different library to work with your native code. And this object code is platform dependent. This was the major issues. Now Sun Microsystem team handled this issue, and they started to work on a project in 1991. In 1991 they started work on OEC language. So this language was introduced to work with to achieve the platform independency. Actually, OEC was introduced to work with the object oriented programming, but the purpose was they wants to implement this programming language to achieve the platform independency. So the team which was working on this project, that was called as Green Team, and in 1995 OEC was renamed and it was called Java programming language, because OEC programming language was already occupied this name by OEC technology itself. So due to trademark they choose another name and it was renamed to Java itself. To write a Java program, you have to save the file with the .java extension and compile it to the .class file. And this is the beauty of this programming language, that if you have a bytecode and suppose you compiled your program on Windows operating system, and that bytecode is compatible with other operating system also, like Linux or Mac. So .class file, this is known as bytecode in Java programming language. Bytecode is nothing, it is just compression of your source code. And they didn't add library as they added, or the earlier programming language was added C and C++. So in Java program they have environment to execute this bytecode, and they have own environment, that is Java virtual machine, and this runtime environment is occurred runtime to execute the bytecode, and after execution of bytecode it destroyed itself, and the thread is complete the process of your program execution. So we will discuss about the thread later, but the focus on platform independency. Vora, write once, run anywhere. If you have written your program and compile on one operating system, so after compilation that bytecode is compatible with other operating system. No need to compile on other operating system. Either they have own environment, but there is no need to compile the source file again and again on each operating system. So this is the Vora. Now this is the right time to comparison between the C++ and Java language. So both are object-oriented programming language, but One is platform dependent and second one is platform independent. C++ is platform dependent language and Java is platform independent language. C++ is mainly used for system programming, whereas Java is mainly used for application programming. It is widely used in Windows-based, web-based, enterprise and mobile applications. C++ supports like multiple inheritance, whereas Java does not support multiple inheritance through classes. It can be achieved by using interfaces only. C++ supports also operator overloading. Java does not support operator overloading. C++ supports pointers. You can write a pointer program in C++, whereas Java does not allow you to play with the pointers, because pointers gives control you to access with the memory address, and you can play with the memory address in the C++. So Java does not allow you to handle or to play with the pointers, though Java supports pointer internally, because Java have the concept of reference ID, and that reference ID is created by Java itself. Internally Java used the pointer approach, so it's also provide you the best feature. And if C++ have some lack of memory issue, then Java doesn't. Compiler and interpreter. C++ uses compiler, and C++ is compiled and run using the compiler, which converts source code into the machine code. So C++ is a platform dependent, whereas Java uses both compiler and interpreter. Like when you have a .java extensible Java program, so firstly you have to compile. So after compilation you have the bytecode, and this bytecode will interpreted by the JVM itself to execute inside the runtime environment, and that JVM interpret your bytecode and convert to the native code. So it is easy to interact with the machine and give you the output. C++ support both call by value and call by reference. Java supports call by value only. There is no call by reference in Java. So now this is the time to understand the features about. Java is a simple programming language. Why this is simple? This is simple programming language because if you have the understanding of operators and object oriented methodology, then you will be learn this language in very short or easy time, and this is very handy programming language. Secure, like as I told you that Java programming doesn't allow the programmers to play with the pointers. It internally handle and it internally use the pointers, but not allowed you. And in the internet world nowadays, this is the main cause that am I using a secure programming language? So Java is a very secure programming language because JVM itself monitoring this. Portable, as we discussed earlier, like the main purpose was to make Java program code as portable to other operating system. So here Java technology introduced the bytecode. So bytecode is portable for each operating system. Robust means hard to break, and this is very robust language because Java have two broad features: memory management and exception handling. Like in C++, programmers are handled memory management by their own, whereas Java is responsible for this work. Java allocating and deallocating memory for objects itself. Exception handling. So Java in we have Java language. So Java introduced a very good architecture to handle the exception handling. So we will discuss and complete exception handling in the next tutorials. Let's come to the next point. What is multi-threading? So multi-threading means like there are number of programs, they are working simultaneously. For the end user, they are treating as they are working parallelly, like in the game or in banking domain. This is widely used. Platform independent. By using the bytecode, because we have the portable bytecode, so Java achieved this feature, platform independency. So a programmer can give the jar files to the other programmer, and if he or she is working on another operating system, so they can easily import and execute, so it doesn't create issue to other programmers. We can share the source code to others as well, and they are using another operating system. Yeah, Java is a distributed language as it can be used to create application for communication over the network. Like it's compatible with TCP/IP, transmission control protocol, internet protocol. Yeah, achieve this feature. During the runtime of a Java program, the relevant information that is used to verify and resolve access to object is required. So here everything is dynamic, like memory allocation, execution. JVM allocate the memory at runtime and it execute the program and destroy itself. Everything is dynamic. There is no static allocation in Java language. Memory management. So allocation or deallocation of memory at runtime, that is more popular feature of Java language. So this is about the features only. These are some versions which was introduced. First version, alpha and beta version, was introduced in 1995. 1.0 it was come in 1996. So like these are the versions. So here I am focusing on the Java SE 8. It was introduced in 2014 itself. Now we are in 2021, so Java released number of other Java versions also. From the Java 8 version, they changed pattern to write a program. So that's why we will start learning from the Java 8, and these are some other releases: Java SE 9 and 20, 16, 17 and 18. So let's start the Java programming, and first of all we have to know about the Java environment. So Java environment means you have to Java development kit. So we will download JDK from the Google or Oracle official sites. Java platforms, a platform where you will execute your program. You need operating system to compile and execute a program. Java virtual machine, so this is a runtime environment where your bytecode will be executed. And Java API, so while compile and at the time of execution, so at the time of compilation or at the time of execution, you need some APIs. So like at the time of compilation you need src.zip, so it have all the source code which is required by the compiler at the time of compilation. So when you will execute your program, when JVM will execute your program, so at runtime they also need the API. And rt.jar, it provides the API, required API. rt.jar have the .class files, and you have to Java programs with the main method, so it will start execution from that main. You can download from JDK from the official Oracle site. To understand better way, you can also use a decompiler as well. So we will use Kaveh's decompiler while learning the programs. Some common things which we have to know about the Java programming while we write the programs. Thank you.